Jacob left Bethel with fire in his soul. The dream of the ladder still burned in his memory, the vision of angels, the voice of Almighty God, and the promise of protection. Yet his path was long, and his feet weary. Then Jacob went on his journey, and came into the land of the people of the east. Genesis 29 verse 1 KJV. The sun rose upon the fields of Haran. Jacob's eyes searched, and behold, a well stood in the open country. Around it, flocks of sheep rested, and 3 groups of shepherds lingered nearby. And he looked, and behold a well in the field, and lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it, for out of that well they watered the flocks, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth. Genesis 29 verse 2 KJV. The stone was heavy, far too great for one man. The flocks waited until all the shepherds gathered, and together they rolled the stone away. Jacob approached them with boldness. And Jacob said unto them, My brethren, whence be ye? And they said, Of Haran are we. And he said unto them, Know ye Laban the son of Nahor? And they said, We know him. Genesis 29 verses 4 to 5 KJV. His heart leapt. This was the land of his mother's family. The shepherds spoke again. And he said unto them, Is he well? And they said, He is well. And, behold, Rachel his daughter cometh with the sheep. Genesis 29 verse 6 KJV. Jacob turned, and time seemed to stop. Across the field, walking with grace and purpose, was Rachel, Laban's daughter, his own kin, carrying the staff of a shepherdess. Jacob's eyes fixed upon her. The sun shone upon her face, the sheep followed at her side, and his spirit stirred with a mixture of awe and trembling. This was no accident. This was providence. But Jacob was a man of action. He turned to the shepherds and cried, Lo, it is yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together. Water ye the sheep, and go and feed them. Genesis 29 verse 7 KJV. But the shepherds replied, We cannot, until all the flocks be gathered together, until they roll the stone from the well's mouth, then we water the sheep. Genesis 29 verse 8 KJV. And while they yet spoke, Rachel arrived. Jacob's heart pounded. He saw her draw near with her flock, and something within him surged with strength. The stone that took many men to move, Jacob stepped forward alone. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel the daughter of Laban his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban his mother's brother, that Jacob went near, and rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Laban his mother's brother. Genesis 29 verse 10 KJV. With a single act, he revealed his strength, not for pride, but to serve her. And then, overcome with emotion, Jacob approached Rachel. And Jacob kissed Rachel, and lifted up his voice, and wept. Genesis 29 verse 11 KJV. Tears streamed down his face. This was more than a meeting. It was destiny. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son, and she ran and told her father. Genesis 29 verse 12 KJV. Rachel's feet carried her swiftly home. Laban, hearing of the young man's arrival, rushed to meet him. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob his sister's son, that he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, Surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. Genesis 29 verses 13 to 14 KJV. Now, the story deepens love, labor, and the cunning of Laban. Jacob's heart belonged to Rachel. He longed to make her his wife. And so, he declared his devotion. And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel, and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel thy younger daughter. Genesis 29 verses 16 to 18 KJV. 7 years of toil, for one woman's hand. And Laban agreed. And Laban said, It is better that I give her to thee, than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. Genesis 29 verse 19 KJV. So Jacob labored. Days turned into months, months into years. Yet the years passed like a breath, for love made them light. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had to her. Genesis 29 verse 20, KJV. At last, the day of marriage came. A feast was prepared, wine flowed, and the night descended. But in the shadows of deception, Laban betrayed him. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter, and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. Genesis 29 verse 23, KJV. Morning light revealed the truth. Jacob awoke, and behold, it was Leah. His cry shook the air. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, What is this thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? Genesis 29 verse 25, KJV. Laban replied with calm deceit. And Laban said, It must not be so done in our country, to give the younger before the firstborn. Genesis 29 verse 26, KJV. But then he offered, Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years. Genesis 29 verse 27, KJV. So Jacob fulfilled Leah's week. And then at last Rachel was given to him also. And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also. Genesis 29 verse 28, KJV. And thus Jacob had 2 wives, Leah and Rachel. His love for Rachel burned brighter, yet the story of rivalry and blessing was only beginning. Lessons from Jacob meeting Rachel. God's timing is perfect. Jacob arrived at the well at the exact moment Rachel did. God orders steps, even in exile. True love works and waits. 7 years felt like days to Jacob because love gives strength to endure. Deception in the world. Laban's trick shows that not everyone deals honestly, even within family, but God still works through human failings. God builds families through struggles. Leah and Rachel's rivalry would produce the 12 tribes of Israel. Out of pain and love alike, God's plan unfolds.